Hello everyone, I am the Analyst 32, and I am recording this pretty much immediately after the result that just happened of Colombia beating the U.S. The U.S. getting fourth in the Copa America, and Colombia getting third. Argentina plays Chile tomorrow for the championship of Copa America. I could get into those thoughts, but really, this video is to digress and to analyze the U.S. men's national team, what state they're in right now after a relatively successful run in the Copa America. Now, I personally believe that this year has been a terrible year for Jurgen Klinsman and company. Between the Gold Cup going terribly, the fact that we couldn't beat Mexico to get the Confederation spot even after given the opportunity at the Gold Cup to get there as a second chance, the fact that, we really haven't looked good in World Cup qualifying for the most part. There's some draws and losses that we really shouldn't have gotten. We really shouldn't have lost to Guatemala. I'm saying too much, but with the talent that's emerged, Pulisic for Dortmund, kind of came out of nowhere, and yes, he's actually started to play him a little bit. And, as a Timbers fan, I feel that not playing Nagby when you take him away from my team is indefensible, and you really have no argument to say that he shouldn't be in that starting lineup or at least playing 35 minutes per match. There is no argument that can be put up against that. Nagby's better on the ball, holds possession better than Michael Bradley, even though Bradley's our captain, and just makes better decisions on the field in terms of attacking play and ultimately in terms of not fouling people and not making stupid decisions. And Pulisic has shown that too. Now, ultimately, we found ourselves a decent cohesive unit for this tournament. We missed Bedoya. We missed Bobby Wood. We missed Jermaine Jones, all for that Argentina game. And it showed, not having somebody who can spread the field, making great runs for Jeff Cameron or John Brooks to pick him out on long balls. Not having Bedoya and Jermaine Jones to keep Michael Bradley in check in terms of keeping up to a high standard of holding on to the ball, holding possession in general, and making crisp passes. Yes, I know I say that even though Jermaine Jones, for the most part this year, really hasn't had a great year until this tournament, in my opinion. He's started to play well for the Colorado Rapids, but he really just hasn't had a great year or so, and especially the past 6 months have not been great for him. It's difficult. I honestly would stand here, or in this case sit here, and call for Jurgen Klinsman to be dropped as manager of the senior team for the U.S. men's national team. I haven't, as much as we can get into the fact that he hasn't been able to push our teams forward at the youth ranks to even qualify for the Olympics, not even really fully bringing in people like Matt Miazga to start getting experience into the senior team as a defender, and really going in with older guys in the midfield like Beckerman, who looked like a deer in the freaking headlights against Argentina. When we're known as an American side, as a team that really wants to, no matter what, no matter if they're 10 times the players we are, we will fight and scrap and beat them down in terms of a physical battle. It seems it's almost like a counter argument to itself in terms of, yes, we're known as a team that is supposedly physical and can hold our own in that aspect from a conditioning standpoint, from a physicality standpoint. Just a team that can go blow for blow with some of these teams in terms of our physicality, yet we don't show it, even though Jurgen Klinsman says that's what he looks for in all his players, and rarely looks for anything technically. And I don't mean technically as in technically something else, like technically on the ball technically in, specifically in terms of tactics, in terms of basic passes, completing of that stuff, knowing and seeing the field, having great vision. These are things that have really been a problem in the U.S. men's national team since Jurgen Klinsman has been here. If anything, he was playing with house money when he came and took over the team with our last World Cup. It's one of those situations where ultimately a lot of us are frustrated. Ultimately, the choices made in the team that could be, us trying to go on the front foot mostly just looks like we're trying to be, trying not to lose too badly instead of playing the American way. To a certain extent, I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but something has to be done. Yes, we finished fourth. In conclusion, yes, we finished fourth. Yes, we made it to the semifinal. Yes, we ended up winning the group thanks to Colombia just underestimating Costa Rica. We had to win those matches to even get up to 6 points in the group anyway. A lot of things just went the right way. And while a lot of things do have to go the right way for a lot of teams to even have an opportunity in tournaments, it just doesn't feel like that much of a positive step forward. So what I'm going to point out are some specific things that we really need to look forward and try to pick out for our men's national team going forward. Looking at players. Well, it's nice to have a Kyle Beckerman against some of the lower teams in CONCACAF, and he's still a tremendous player on the MLS level, at least defensively for RSL. We need to look at developing somebody else who can come in and play the CDM role for us off the bench. We need to stop relying on Graham Zusi. I'm okay with having Matt Beasler as an option. He can play left back. He can play center back. Initially, I was skeptical, but, he held his own for the most part today against Colombia. We have to figure out what we're doing as in other backup fullbacks, specifically when Fabian Johnson is out and we're having to play Orozco, who had a terrible last yellow card to get kicked out of the game late and really just did not show any composure whatsoever. You have to look at consistently playing Pulisic, consistently playing Darlington Nagbe, consistently playing Bobby Wood as the starter, because without him, we have no offensive force going forward. Zardes played well today. He's shown a lot of good things this tournament, as one of the bright sides of this tournament. DeAndre Yedlin showed that he's actually, on the world stage, a solid right back. His Premier League experience playing for Sunderland this year has helped him leaps and bounds. And obviously we have to keep Jeff Cameron and John Brooks together as our center back pairing. It just has to happen, both generally from a mentality standpoint, have what it takes to be a center back pairing on the international stage. They do. In the midfield, we have to keep Bedoya. Bedoya is playing quite well, in my opinion. He's always constantly working hard and is usually making the correct pass on a very consistent basis. But we also have to look at Jermaine Jones and Michael Bradley. Jermaine Jones has played pretty well this tournament, and, we've missed him desperately when he's been out there. He's played well for the Colorado Rapids all year. He's 34 years old. He's 34 years old. We can't just rely on him for the next, as much as he probably could, we can't rely on him for the next 6 years, and he's not going to play till he's 40. It's not going to happen. Michael Bradley has shown that he's on the downside of his career at this point. He's played well for Toronto as, a holding midfielder, but when Bedoya and Jones aren't on the field, Bradley has no idea what to do. And that's just from watching the matches. He looks lost. his touches are off whenever those two are out of the match. I've wanted to take a certain amount of an unbiased stance, and obviously that hasn't necessarily come across in this video. But something has to be done. Something has to be done. But we have to figure something out. We have talent coming up. We have to figure out how to develop that talent. And I don't necessarily think it's happening because they're not getting the opportunities they need to. And for anybody who says that Darlington Nagbe is not fast enough and doesn't play hard enough, you're idiots. Anyway, thank you for listening to my very long rant about the U.S. men's national team. If you would like more of this, definitely drop it a like, definitely subscribe. I cover the MLS every single week, and I drop more soccer videos in between, as well as covering a couple other sports here and there. And I appreciate everything you guys do and viewing, and subscribe if you'd like more. I am the Analyst 32. You can also find me on Twitter at the Analyst 32. You can also find me on Facebook, the Analyst 32 as well. Give that page a like. You'll enjoy the content. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about the U.S. men's national team, and I will see you guys on the other side of the pitch. Have a good one.